I'm Oni Black Mage, and we are here to wrap up Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. So far, pretty good point-and-click mystery adventure that I'm enjoying so far. So far, we've been pretty aces with figuring out where these mysteries are going, and I cheated a little bit because I wanted to find out at the end of last time how many cases are in this game, and it looks like we're actually in the final case right now. And I'll be curious to see if they go with something big that ties together the cases we had so far, or if it's just going to be, just another case, and that's it, that's the end of the game. I would like to see if there's some finality to it, some overarching thread to bind them all together, but I honestly couldn't think of one, so let's just continue with this case and see where it goes. We left off right when the case began, so it's right where we were just visiting our little street urchin friends, and one of their brothers was killed, and that's it. That's all we know.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
It's still the same lady. Alright, so we can go to the crime scene first, or take a look at the belongings. I'm thinking we'll check the belongings first.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Well, I didn't know they actually already detained the suspect, so I kind of feel like we want to take a look at the belongings, but then take a look at the crime scene first, and then talk to the accused.
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. It seems...
Two shots, huh?
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Okay, at least we learned there were 2 shots there. Let's go to the scene of the crime.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
We'll see.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens. A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
Not sure what that means.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
Wasn't he a jeweler?
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Okay, so let's go talk to the flower woman first. Alright, so you're Turner from the apartment.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell. Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Oh, so we're gonna scope this guy. How do I didn't ask us to scope the other people?
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
That is, actually.
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming into Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
See what we got in terms of evidence. Alright, let's see what we got. Two shots, two victims, makes sense. Second shot being louder than the first is weird. Nope. Well, that's interesting to consider. One was shot from two different positions, therefore that's why it was louder. Well, the second shot was actually two different shots going off at once, and that's why it was louder. Huh. Okay. Yeah, because the policeman says that there was nobody at the window. This guy's saying he was at the window and he had a light. Okay.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was
Not
a bit of
really.
a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly. This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
Awfully suspicious.
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago. The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here, a short while ago.
Ooh, that walking stick.
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims. This kitchen knife is quite sharp. There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper. Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots. So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
So he opened the window. He went to the body, took it out, took something. Got the papers and then burned it?
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find? I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look. Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Still no clues, though. You should probably talk to him.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
No, you don't. You have a limp. Yep.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
What are you saying?
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Leaving out that bracelet, though.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then, and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying
I kind of
to
believe
me.
him.
But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Well, I guess that's that. Search archives. We'll do that next.
That is not. That is. That is. That is not.
Really,
the
you said
one I
Greek
need.
history.
That is not. That is not. That is not.
Hellenistic treasures.
That is not.
You
the
just
one
said
I
it was
need.
Hellenistic.
That is not.
Just for jokes. What the heck does this even go to then?
That is not. That is not.
Oh. I was gonna start brute forcing it, but fortunately it was like a second thing. Have been missing from the museum since 1885.
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
And now it's gonna let. Yeah, the hell is the treasure stolen? I don't get why that we couldn't do that. Come on now.
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Which probably goes to his... Vincent Foley committed the robbery of the Hellenistic treasures, prison 10 years ago. Let's talk to the witness now, or the accused, before we check out the pawn shop. Oh, thought he'd be here.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you
Please do.
everything.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Let's see. Hold on. He's lying about something, but what would it actually... Wow. He didn't take the bracelet. He didn't know it was there. He doesn't have the door key. He didn't see Turner. I guess because they're both prisoners from Westgate?
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Okay, so we got a bunch of evidence from there. Let's see what he got. No? Okay. Okay, I thought might have been related because of the crime. Interesting. Really? Nothing? How did that connect? Hmm. Huh, okay, well, it really doesn't tell us too much. Let's see what we got. Let's go find the pawn shop. Alright, can't go in for a pint, apparently. That's cool they decided to animate an actual tavern. Pawn shop.
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly. Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
Okay. Somebody climbed the walls then?
crampon.
It wants me to do something with those crampons.
A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor. It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his
That's good.
operations.
Hey Grim, how's it going? We're solving mysteries. One of the last mystery of this particular game. This one's a different pacing than the other Sherlock Holmes games that I've played before. Because in this one, in like the last 4 whatever Sherlock Holmes games I've played, each of the mysteries so far would be kind of like independent, but there'd be some loose thread connecting them. And then the final case would kind of tie something from all the previous cases together. It's kind of like Ace Attorney, which another reason why I like Ace Attorney is that it had the independent cases, but then despite all that, there was something in each of those cases that would tie together to the final case, which was like a grand finale. And I was kind of hoping this would be a grand finale, but it looks like in this particular game, it's not. It looks like the final mystery is just the last mystery. It's not tying together some grand finale.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs
It's just a
to the
straight up
5
simple double
rams of
murder.
Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
So that implicates his theft, but we already knew that. So far, this has been a pretty okay mystery game, but given how there have been other Sherlock Holmes games that I have to compare this to, this isn't the best one. And not because it's a bad game, only because it's a lot simpler than a lot of the other ones. I don't want to say easier. The moral system's kind of interesting. It really does make you stop and think about the weight of your decisions. Some of the cases have had good gray area things where it's made you consider multiple viewpoints. And for the most part, the logic in all of them is held up pretty well. But other than that, it's just been kind of like any old mystery game. Like, it didn't, I don't know, it doesn't strike me as something I was like, wow, this is really an impressive whodunit. It's just an okay one. I guess nothing bad with being an okay one. Not anything has to blow you away. So Kenneth knew Mr. Vercotti. They were gonna meet to exchange treasure. Deal went down. It's probably a third person who wanted to get the treasures and killed both of them. This is why you never meet anybody in like a shady ass alley. Through Craigslist or something like that. That's why you never do it. Asking to get shot and left in an alley.
A flare.
Alright, these are connected. No, they're not connected. Really? Because the treasures are the stolen ones, right? Okay. So, let's see. This is weird because if it was killed for personal reasons, the guy who found them, who did happen to know one of the victims, he would have chased after it. Well, he could have. Because the other one, the burglary motive, what's the point of it being a burglar? Well, actually, no. He didn't have... Wait, well, then how the old man who was crippled get to the scene of the crime before the guy who shot them did? The guy was wearing the bracelet. So how is it the guy who mugged him didn't grab the bracelet before running? That doesn't make any sense. And apparently somebody climbed somewhere. Don't have enough evidence. Not enough clues. Alright, so we have to make a conclusion. So either there were two shots, but two different positions, which would implicate a third man. Could hear the contrast in two shots as the fact 3 shots were made. At first, a single shot was fired, and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterwards. I guess it's possible. By the way, how's your day going along, man? I don't think it was vengeance, because that would implicate the brother. And I don't think the brother did it. I don't know why there would be 2 guns fired at the exact same time. Interesting. Let's just say my week right now, let's just say this. Polishing up my resume. Had to dig it up for the first time since 2013. And polishing it up and sending it to a couple of interested parties. Let's just put it that way. It's been a long time coming, as I now am looking to the next stage of things. I don't want to talk about it here. I think actually, let's meet up for Gears later. I realized I invited you last week and I totally forgot about that. But I'll tell you about it one-on-one. Because, man, stuff's going down and I'm not having it. So I'm preparing. I'll just leave it at that. When I tell you, I think you may not be surprised. But it's very clear that I don't want any part of the environment anymore. What? I'm not gonna condemn this guy. I mean, we could get robbery, but that would implicate this kid, and I'm not doing that. Screw that. talk about this constable. Controller's messed up again? Yeesh.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
What was that scene for? Oh, wait.
A fairly long pole with a forked end. A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Why do we have 3 different things? Oh, one of the victims might possibly fired his gun twice. We don't have enough information, though. Well, this guy got shot in the head. This guy got shot in the gut. Is it possible they shot each other? Wait, what? He shot the wall?
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp. This should be useful.
Some glossy looking walls here.
Nothing interesting
Alright,
here.
so he didn't fire twice. And this guy shot first at this wall and then at the fat man. And there's the bullet hole.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh.
So somebody was on the wall.
Watson,
There was a third.
There was a third shot fired in this street.
So there was 3 shots. So, if both of them shot each other, one of the guns is missing. But there's a third person there. Yeah, which doesn't match up with anything. You know, I was about to say, my friend, I actually have like an extra controller if you ever want one. It wouldn't be a big deal. I'll just mail it over to you, and you would have it in probably like 2 days. And I have a bonus rechargeable battery too. I don't have a bonus cable, but it's just a micro USB cable. So if you ever want that, that's fine too. I can send you both.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
I guess we'll talk to the kid. No, can't talk to the kid. I'm at a loss here. I don't have any clues. The leads aren't giving me anything. Unless I have to move the leads to another logic point. Alright, so... third shot. Oh, so here we go. Latent statement indicates a disappearing man. Okay. Reenact Murrow's pursuit with lamp.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood. I shouldn't look for Mr. Holmes here. He's hiding in Half Moon
Oh, I'm
Street.
playing as the cop now. Oh, there he is.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Actually, where is he? Might be hiding in some of the garbage down here. He's not hiding up top, is he? Wait. Shit, I'm stuck on a box. How did this happen? Damn it, I glitched this game somehow. Phew, okay. That was scary for a second. Okay, where is Sherlock Holmes hiding?
No, this is not how I walked at the time of the crime. I was more...
Oh, we're in my blind spot. Clever.
Here you
I actually
are,
missed
Mr.
that the
Holmes.
first time.
All right, Constable.
That
Let's
actually was a
try
good
again.
spot.
I'll find another place to hide.
Okay. Check corners. Man, he really got me there. Okay, there you go.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
So... what does that give us? Up the walls. Well, that explains why they wanted us to look at the climbing gear. And why there was a guy on the wall. Find the flare gun and the climbing equipment. Oh, the flare gun is how the kid got blinded. He had a flare shot up in his face. But nobody noticed because of the fireworks going off. Climbing gear.
These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall.
And the flare gun was over here.
This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People
Poor
like
people.
me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Technically,
I
are.
know. Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Oh, that's a wonderful rationalization.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Alright, what am I supposed to... Alright, attempt to initiate the flash experiment.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can. This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone.
Oops. I didn't realize we had a weird climbing mechanic here.
I can barely see anything.
He doesn't hear like Sherlock's grunting and he's like,
Holmes,
where is he?
are you there?
Ugh, thunk. This is like gripping into brick.
I should try climbing faster.
Okay, we got to button mash faster. Game doesn't like my button mashing, apparently.
I can barely see anything.
Now that I know it's a weird sequence here, I feel like you have to fail this at least once.
Holmes, are you there? Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that.
There we go. Success.
Holmes? Holmes, where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't
Ooga
worry,
booga
gentlemen,
booga.
I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there,
Magic.
Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
It's like, I'm on my way down. He just, yeah, I know, he just falls and breaks his leg. Gravity still works, Watson.
These shards of glass are from the window above.
Why was...
It's empty. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste, he ripped his
Just
jacket.
rip his jacket. It took the whole jacket off him.
A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
Okay, give us a new clue. Saying the kid's innocent. A lot of this doesn't add up, apparently. Alright, let's go back to Baker Street and check this place out. Check something real fast. That reminds me, there's voting going on right now, or did it already happen this week? Oh, so the advanced voting for the primary was 2 days ago, on Tuesday. No, that was Monday. Well, I missed that. Jeez. I didn't register. Is it still too late? Do they allow walk-ins? Because I'm a professional, I'm checking voting dates right now. Because I didn't get any notice in the mail for voting. I didn't get anything. Normally I get a notice in the mail. Yeah, it looks like I should have had to register back in February. Looks like I'm too late. That sucks. Since it's a presidential election year, I would have liked to at least... Because the primaries is really the most important part. Everyone wants to do the big vote in November. But the primaries in February and March, that's super important.
Hello, Toby. All you need now is a shawl and a mop cap, and you could be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
Not doing my civic duty.
Let us take a closer look. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
He just happens to have his shaving brush on him.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horsehair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what the voting rules are in terms of early primary votes. I'm really not sure. I need to look it into. Alright, so for the general primary, you can do it before the end of the month, though. This month, 31st. Oh, you can actually just check to see if you're registered to vote. How about that? Oh, so I am. It looks like I am still registered. I wonder why I didn't get a notice. I need to check the dates for that later. Anyway, not doing that during a stream. Kind of wonderful break of me checking my voter registration. If you voted, good. But don't be a slacker like me and just lose sight of that. Golly. Can't believe I let that one get over me. So we have a person with exotic wild hair and a wall climber. That's apparently related. Circus acrobat? Sure. Is a circus in town? Oh, interesting. So all the things that were wrong before because the band's a circus acrobat line up now. So why did a circus acrobat kill this man and run off with it unless he was also in jail?
Wiggins is currently at Half Moon.
Street urchin, I choose you. Where'd you go?
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Kid.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal.
Disposed.
A very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Georgia hasn't had the primary yet? Is it at the end of March? Because I'm looking, and some sites say it's going to be March 20th. Or March 24th, whatever. So, but... But either way, it's too late because I didn't register. I didn't register for the March 24th primary. So I don't think I can do that. Or is that just voter? I think you just have to be registered to vote, right? You don't have to vote for... I'm being stupid, of course. I think you just show up. You just have to be a voter. That's just for people who've never voted before, right? Part of my political ignorance. Yeah, so like I can just walk in during that time. I don't know why I'm acting so dumb. It's like, of course, it's how it's been all the other times. I've been voted, gosh, since 2008.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
I'm confused right now.
Don't worry,
Sorry.
Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
This all reminds me of the circus crime in Ace Attorney, the second one. The one that had an infamous amount of memes during its translation. I played all those games back in the DS when they first came out.
Aye, you. Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? There. I don't think so. Clear off.
I'm quite a lockpicker. Can I punch this guy? So we need to look like a person. I guess we need to go in disguise. It's like the sailor thing. We can't go into the pub without not looking like a sailor. So apparently we need to look like a thief, like a lockpicker. Alright. See what we got. Bandit outfit. There we go. Alright, let's see. That looks like a stupid hat. That's a poor person's hat. Let's get a big old thief. That looks like a lockpicker mustache. What'd you say? Ooh, I like that one. That's a lockpicker mustache right there. Alright, perfect. He'll never see through it.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
Soy bandito.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
We should probably do as he says, just go straight here.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money?
Some of the barrels are wet.
Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped.
Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies.
I want to be paid first.
No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said.
Right?
I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout.
Of course not.
There we go.
I'm a professional.
Glad to hear it.
Did he get shot in the arm?
Be ready for tonight, then.
He has Pokeballs on the desk here. Oh, what the? Falcons rise up and keep rising.
That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls. This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day.
What is this crap?
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out. The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure. Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry.
A lot of gunpowder.
Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently, and these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
What kind of hippie bandana is this guy wearing? Big lips, too. Like, who walks around with, like, this key to their safe, like, boldly right there? Hey, he does have a gun. That's the missing ring. So he's definitely involved with the crime. So this is our third suspect. And our missing acrobat. Wow. Checking everybody out. That was worth 70 pointerinos. Okay. Lock puzzle again. This one doesn't seem too segmented. Because the last couple that were sliding... Oh, this does have sliding parts. Damn it. Okay. What to say. But only one sliding section. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's leave that up there just to see. Alright, so we got a window there. A weird T section. We're gonna leave you like that. this crap moves up. Ah, shit. So it can't be that design because that part gets cut off intentionally. Alright, so that's not the thing. Now we have a lot of curving parts here. So this is a problem section right here. There we go. Ah. Okay.
I need to find out what's behind this Charles Foley.
Okay. Just something else to explore in the circus? Okay, now let's me talk to him. Okay, sure.
Ah, well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
The jail.
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price
Ah,
for
there we
it.
go.
And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on the corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
Okay.
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures.
And we're not calling Watson on this? Okay.
This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
Ah, shit. This has multiple of the combination lock things. God damn it. Alright, let's see what we're looking with. So we got 2 lines there. Is there any advantage to that being... Oh, well, that fits up quite well, actually, right there. Yeah, so that probably goes there. That's lining up pretty well over there. Shit, no. I do not see the pattern that goes to at all. Which means this pattern is bogus. Why is there such a huge blank spot there? There we go. Alright.
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it.
Because left side was easy, but getting the right side was a little more challenging. It's a nice sledgehammer somebody just left there.
This cupboard is an absolute, mess.
What a piece of junk.
Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
I didn't even detect that. Oh well, there we go. Safe. Easy peasy. Literally the first thing I checked, and it was right. I think it's the only thing you can check.
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Another one. Whew. Alright, well. Let's see what we're dealing with. Actually, this doesn't look so bad. It's only like 4 pieces instead of like 6. It looks like only 2 pieces slide. Actually, none of them slide. Okay, that's actually kind of nice. That's actually way easier. Because when you have this many crazy marks, it can only go so many ways and line up. Like that, for example. Oops. Come on, there we go. Let's say, like, that's perfect. That's a much easier lock. Okay.
What a surprise. Another lock. And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out. Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door.
Door.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
That hatch down there. Window.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This works very well. No one will escape through this window now. A solid rope. There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out. I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful.
Okay, what do we have that can stop that door?
This should be useful.
Do some Home Alone shenanigans.
Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined. This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door.
So we have that. Chair. Okay.
This should be useful.
I guess propping the chair that way. Or propping the back door.
The door is now blocked. This should be useful. Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. If anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
It's Home Alone shenanigans here.
If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier
That will
knock him
kill
down.
somebody. You see the spike on that thing? Good lord. Alright, well, we got the traps, right? I guess we should check upstairs.
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. This should be useful. Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
I know, it's like all the times that Kevin did those crazy traps, like half of them are lethal. Jesus Christ, what a psycho kid. We're literally doing Home Alone stuff right here.
One step on these beads, and our thief
I
will
think
go
the same things like
flying.
beads in the stairs.
I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
What?
Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly. The traps for my circus companions.
See, I don't know
are
about
all
marbles on the
prepared.
floor,
I can leave now, but I'll
but I know for a fact if
return
you put some
with
grease on that
Charles
step
Foley
and
his
slick it up,
companions.
that 100% will be, would get some people. Like putting grease on a stairs, them running up, oh, they would slip and bust their chins so fast. Got an achievement for that.
Police! Police!
Jesus Christ, that guy's dead.
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
Oh, you sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear
Got
fellow.
bodies on the floor
You
right here.
startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better
Oh,
than
I'm
the
worse.
coppers.
See, because the cops believe in a fair trial, I don't. Most cops don't believe in a fair trial. No offense to most cops.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
Why is his brother here?
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Like, we didn't call him here.
Don't move, you flim-flammer.
You flim-flammer. Whoa, watch it, Watson. That mouth. Alright, well. Yeah, the Merry Men is like it's a group of, I don't say terrorists, but definitely like high-profile people that like internationally hit up stuff. They do a lot of anti-government stuff, a lot of radical stuff. They've popped up in a couple of the Sherlock Holmes cases. And his brother Mycroft works for the government, like not quite Secret Service, but definitely like, you know, like FBI level stuff. Where yeah, he wants to make sure nobody freaking bombs Buckingham Palace and all that. Well, this is the final deduction, but it's pretty damn obvious. The guy even voted saying, how'd you know about that? Like, there's not even a question. You're literally the only other person who could have done all this. This was a pretty straightforward case. See, at first I was going to absolve him and just be like, look, this man's a thief, but he's not a murderer. He stole the treasures and then got out. And the two guys shot each other. Problem, though, he just said, yo, my brother died in prison, but I got that guy. So he clearly was in it for not only treasure, but revenge. So... Also, he's involved in, like, potentially some terrorist stuff. He had the murder weapon, and he's clearly making shady deals. With, like, the Merry Men. So we should condemn this guy. Get wrecked.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful, you Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Reminds me, how are we doing on achievements? Oh, we didn't interact with Toby in every case.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful.
Oh, not all of
blow
us.
us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians.
Except I don't think you plan on peacefully resolving
our
this.
lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are
What do you do with
nothing
all that
without
gunpowder,
their
man?
titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us.
Yeah, that's what terrorism's
instead.
called.
The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London
Okay,
Stock
man.
Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all
That's
be
gonna
destroyed.
cause.
They're only papers, after all. So many people will be
That-
freed
that
over
doesn't-
this night.
That is a radical step
Yeah.
to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
He shouldn't die. See ya.
When people fight the order, they are too blind.
See,
to
I don't
the
mind your fight or
consequences
your
that
reason,
throw
but the problem is
society
you're
into
dragging a
chaos.
country into
I
it. You're
shall
no
stop
better
your
than the people you
actions,
try to
but
fight.
not you. Run. Now.
It'd be funny if he missed. You can change the hearts and the minds of the people without causing so much chaos. History's proven that. I like how dapper we are now.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite, lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. And we are correct, baby. 6 out of 6 cases correct. And all clues found. Law protector. I am the law. Six conclusions, baby. Perfect. Look at all these achievements rolling in. Alright, so we finished this mystery one. There's only 6 mysteries, and they didn't cultivate into or accumulate into anything, which is surprising to me. Looks like we didn't get all of the achievements, though. Looks like we didn't talk to the dog in every single case. I know in the beginning I didn't talk to the dog because I didn't, you have to talk to the dog in like half the cases. But I know for like the first and maybe the second case, I didn't talk to the dog. So I didn't pet the dog in every single chapter. So that's my bad. You're supposed to pet the dog in all the cases. And maximum personality ranking, that probably means if I threw the book at everyone, because I didn't throw the book at everyone. I did absolve one guy because in his case, I deemed it as self-defense. And so even though he killed the guy, I deemed that he did it in self-defense, and so I let him go. What if it's possible to... reach all possible conclusions of the game? Well, can you replay the end of a case? Because to see all the conclusions in the game, you'd have to reload the end where you point a different conviction finger at everybody. I'm checking to see right now if I can load the end of a case. Because I'd like to get 100% on this game. I did most everything else. Damn it. Okay, so you can't just jump to the end. You would literally have to play through the case again. The entire way through. And I don't want to do that. This game is long. Well, it's not technically super long. I don't know. This game was like 20 hours. Well, like 15 maybe. I think we spent like 2 hours per case. Actually, I guess then it's close to like 50, yeah, like 10, 15 hours. Because we spent like 2 hours per case, 3 hours on one of them. And like the short case was like it was done in an hour. Because I wish you could just go back to any one of the cases. Wait, what was that ending part? It seems like there's something else for me to do. Crimes and punishment. What's tasks? I'm at Baker Street. What do I do? Do I just reflect on my stuff while I'm smoking? I guess there's nothing else to me to do. Well, let me see if I can at least pet the dog in chapter 2 and see if it lets me do that. Man, I want to play the entire case over. I think it was this one, though. I think it was this case. Apparently, if I miss just one, if I just talk to him, it should unlock.
This trip to the countryside will
Is there no
be
skipping?
good for you, Holmes. As your friend, fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
He is a bee lover.
That must...
I have no time. Send whoever it is away. Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, I document... We're about to depart for the train station. You know?
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you. Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary.
Alright. Hopefully this is the only one I missed the dog.
Look after Mrs. Hudson for
Yep,
us.
that was it. That was one I missed. Huh. Alright, well, at least we got the dog one. We pet the dog in every case. I'll call that a win. Have to go to the department outing today? Well, please enjoy your tea party. I hate those kind of tea parties. Well, we finished this one. That's one mystery out of the way. Good going, gang. Alright, so at this point, we're going to conclude. If you're somebody who enjoys mysteries with Sherlock Holmes, then this one's not a bad one to play, but it's not one of the better ones. I rate this one pretty average, or even for most of the Sherlock Holmes games, not that high. My favorite one's still Testament of Sherlock Holmes, and I think I'm trying to remember some of the recent ones I played. There was Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. Gosh. I don't remember which one. I didn't play Devil's Daughter. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin. That was pretty alright. I didn't play Mystery of the Mummy and Case of the Silver Earring. I think those were early PC ones. Yeah, those were early PC ones. I did not play those. I think I remember playing The Awakened. I don't think I remember liking it, but yeah. Arsène Lupin was kind of... He was alright. Jack the Ripper was alright. Testament was really good. Crimes and Punishment, this is only okay. And Devil's Daughter I haven't played yet. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. Dark, best of luck. Stay strong. Don't let them get you down. I hope they don't kill you or give you grief. So, good luck. Stay strong. Okay, so that's Crimes and Punishment, Sherlock Holmes. I'm looking at the wiki and it says this is the third one chronologically. Apparently the first two were re-released, one on the Wii and one on the DS, so it's possible to actually play those. But The Awakened was PC only. Same for our son. Careful if you murder them, Crimes and Punishment will come after you. I'm a detective now. I'm going to stop this, close it out, but then we're going to come back and we're going to start the new one. You know, we finished pretty early since there was only one case left. A few hours on that one. And we're going to start something new today. We'll check through my options, see what I'm in the mood for. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll be right back. And we solved another mystery. Good job, and I'll see you in the next battlefield.